After years of people buying massive front-load washers with smart features and steam, a funny thing is happening. Many people are going back to top loaders, especially ones like Speed Queen. Why? Because they just want something that works and is simple to repair. In this video, you'll learn the pros and cons of Speed Queen washers. We'll break down the key features between their two main series and show you real first-year service data. Then stick around to the end where we compare Speed Queen to two of its biggest competitors, LG and GE Commercial. Let's start with what Speed Queen does really well. These machines are built solid. You get steel components, a real transmission, a design that's meant to be repaired, not replaced. There's no lid lock, no mold issues, and most cycles finish in about 40 minutes. It's basically the opposite of modern front loaders. They're also front serviceable, so repairs are simpler. And depending on the model, you can get a warranty that lasts up to 7 years. And in their most popular TC models, that transmission's tied directly to the agitator, so it's impossible to unbalance. That may sound minor, but chronic unbalancing is one of the most common reasons washers need service. Speed Queen reminds me of my mom's old Maytag growing up. That thing lasted 17 years without a single repair. I'm not saying Speed Queen's the same, but in terms of how it's built, the overall construction and the front serviceability is what endeared that generation of the old Maytag. Now, you do give up some things. Speed Queens are small, just over 3 cubic feet versus 5 cubic feet for a front load or a hybrid top load washer. So a lot of laundry or king-size bedding, you'll be doing more loads. You also use a lot more water, up to 40 gallons per cycle versus around 15 for front load. More energy per load too, and they spin slower, between 710 and 840 RPM versus up to 1300 for the average front load. That means your clothes come out wetter, take longer to dry, you're spending more money per load each wash. Plus no Wi-Fi, no app, no auto dispenser. It's very old school, again like my mom's old Maytag. Speed Queen makes two main top load series, the TR and the TC. TR is quieter, uses a water-driven agitation system, and spins faster at 840 RPM. It's available with 3 models with increasing cycle options and warranties, the TR3, 5, and 7. Only 7 is digital controls. The TR3 and 5 stick with old school knobs. The TC series, on the other hand, is for the purists. It's louder and spins slower at 710 RPM, but the agitator is motor-driven and directly tied to the transmission. That makes it more aggressive and more durable, especially for washing really dirty or heavy loads. It's also nearly impossible to unbalance. You can even open the lid mid-cycle, which you can't do in most other washers anymore. Then again, the agitator can fray more delicate clothes or shred partially torn ones. The TR series, the agitator is moved by the water flow, so it's much quieter but doesn't have that agitation for dirty clothes to be cleaned. So it depends on what you wash regularly. But how does Speed Queen stack up against the big players like LG and GE? Definitely get less in terms of features. LG and GE top loaders give you bigger tubs up to 5 cubic feet, along with Wi-Fi, app controls, auto dispensers, and higher spin speeds that cut drying time. Also usually a few $100s cheaper and less expensive to run, especially in Massachusetts with our higher utility rates. But when it comes to build quality and long-term durability, Speed Queen pulls ahead. The TC series has a steel transmission and a commercial-grade finish versus transmissions that are not tied in and much easier to unbalance, which can lead to future service calls like any other brands. We logged over 33,000 service calls last year. Based on that data, in the first year, Speed Queen had a 3.6% first-year service rate. LG is slightly better at 3.2%, while G was closer to 7%. All were better than the appliance service average of appliances at 9.5%. Warranty-wise, Speed Queen is much better. Depending on the model, you get 3, 5, or even 7 years of full coverage. LG and G typically offer 1 year unless you buy an extended plan. That makes a difference, especially when parts and labor on a front load can cost almost more than the machine. The Speed Queen is way easier to fix. But one catch, not every service company works on Speed Queen, so make sure your dealer actually services what they sell. Speed Queen isn't for everyone. If you want the biggest tub, smart features, the lowest price, you'll probably be happy with LG or GE. If you're looking for a machine that's simple, durable, and built to last, especially if you're worried about expensive service calls, then Speed Queen might be worth the trade-offs. Just make sure the store you're buying from actually services what they sell. Because no matter what brand you choose, it's not just about buying the machine, It's about keeping it running before the laundry piles up. Want to see how Speed Queen compares to G commercial? Click this video, and thanks for watching.